Hey, what's up, reloaders? Hey, thanks for joining. Today, we're going to be doing a tabletop review and unboxing of a new press that I got. I pre-ordered this a while back probably in February, I believe. And today, it actually came in. I ordered it from Titan Reloading. It's the new Lee Breech Lock Pro. I'm pretty excited. I've been following the production on this new Lee press. It's got some really good features, and I'm going to see how well it does. I ordered this off of Titan Reloading. I pre-ordered it. I talked to some of the guys there, and they hooked me up. I've been also talking with them about the TRN, the Reloaders Network, and working out some deals with them. So they were able to be kind enough and ship this out before all the orders. Right now it's still on pre-order on their website, and you're only able to get notified when it's in stock, and you can actually place your order. But luckily they were kind enough to ship it out to me fast as they can when they're available. So we're gonna be doing a unboxing. I just got this literally an hour ago, so I'm pretty excited. So let's see what this all entails of. So far, the shell plates that are available don't cover a majority, or a lot of calibers, but they do cover a lot of the I guess we say normal calibers that you see reloaded. I opt in for the 223 shell plate. So all right, comes in a basic box for now, generic box. Alright, so inside the box includes, it's like the new Lee brochure, 2018. I'll look that over, see what's new. I believe this is the shell plate, and it's already opened. Must be floating around in there. Of course, the manual. Kind of just, it's like I was tossed in that box. There's a quick start guide for setting up your press. See, steel base block, which I have today. We'll be removing this turret press. I had to order another one. I should have ordered another one, actually. Let's see what the manual says for setting this thing up. It's like, okay, so it gives you a little template. You could use, I guess, 3/4 inch plywood as well. Reposition handle securely, yada yada. Install spent primer tube. So, cool thing about this press that it uses the ram just like the turret press to dispense your primers, and it's got a catch on the bottom. So that's pretty good. Lock ring eliminator. I plan on getting more of those. Those are pretty cool. Index rod, yada yada. Raised carrier. Okay, so quick start guide. Of course, when it comes with the press itself, let's see, it's got the regular indexing priming arm. This is what it looks like. It's a little different compared to the old one. I wonder if I'll be able to use it. Looking at the design, it looks like it's totally different. This seems to be the large rifle primer version. So is this one. So it looks like the actual ram itself is detachable. Maybe it might be pinned in, or I'm not sure if it's pressed in. Okay, so we got the large and the small priming arm. Put that off to the side. Comes with the hex Allen head, 2 of them. Cool thing about this press that it actually has holders for all your tools needed to change calipers and whatever, you know. Alright. So 2 Allen heads. see if I can find my shell my shell plate number 4. Rolling around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Okay, the shell plate number 4. What's different about this? It is a 4-position plate. Let's see if I can get the Pro 1000 plate. Compare that. All right, here is the Pro 1000 plate, and then the new Pro Auto Breech Lock Pro plate number 4. Size comparison. A little bigger. Threaded. All right. That's that. The press itself. Let's see if I get this out. Okay. So one thing to note is the press is actually got some weight to it. Feels a little heavier than the Pro 1000. What I'm gonna do is unmount this press and take the base plate off, transfer it onto this thing, and we'll go about reviewing and looking at the features of this new Breech Lock Pro. So let me put the press down on the side. Let's see what else is in the box. Let's look in here. Let's see. All right, cool. Give you a tray and some hardware. Pretty cool. It looks like at the bottom of the box. So on the bottom of the box looks to be the primer tube dispenser. Wedged in there. All right. So here is the primer tube dispenser, I guess catcher, and that will be sitting on the bottom of the ram. So I'll go ahead and set that up, and that seems to be everything inside the box. All right, so I got the press mounted up on the base plate. It does give you a template, like I said, on the quick reference guide, and they do recommend to use the steel base plate. Here's everything that comes in the box, minus the shell carrier. Like I said, you got the 2 priming arms, quick reference guide, 2 Allen heads, the press itself. So it does come with 4 breech lock bushings, 1 lockable breech lock bushing. I actually didn't know these sold these, so I'm going to be buying more. These are pretty cool. It's will lock your die and not move at all. One thing that did surprise me on the press, I thought this was going to be metal. They actually overlaid plastic around their shell carrier or assembly. So this is actually plastic. You know, Lee does use a lot of plastic, but I think they did that for a reason, for smoothness when that shell plate goes around and indexes. I think that's the reason why they did that. The whole case feeding mechanism is totally revamped. Basically, you can still add the case feeder. It slides onto here. Oop. Oh man, there's my first problem right there. Damn it. Press is longer than I thought. All right, well, give me a second. Looks like I'm about to invest in a riser. But okay, going back into the case feeding. Supposedly it's supposed to be able to slide in your case feeder and use your case feeder that way, and that seems to be the case. So this is actually a spring, so that's pretty cool. No more bent linkages. And other than that, the operation seems to be pretty smooth. It's oil from the factory, so a little tight, so I got to break it in. Let's go over the quick reference guide on how to set this up. All right, so I did step 1 and 2, installing the press and tightening down the handle. Third step is to install the primer tray. I click on the priming tray. It slides into, there's a little area right behind that slides into. and that seems to be a lock ring. There we go. All right. All right, and that locks in place. So now I got a sprint primer catcher. Pretty cool. Like that feature on this press. Next, states to remove the lock ring eliminator. All right. And this is now, it says remove the index rod and case ejector. So we'll do that. Here's the index rod, and then the case ejector. You know what, let me switch cameras and so I can use two hands. Alright, so now that I got two hands, it says to remove the case ejector. The case ejector itself seems to be slotted and goes around the, I guess, the carrier plate assembly. Raise the carrier to mid-stroke and install shell plate, and you're going to screw it down onto the carrier core screw. You take your Allen head provided. This is a 1/4 inch Allen head. Throw it or insert it into the index and carrier hole, and pretty convenient. You just hold your shell carrier and use this to tighten down your shell carrier plate. So it makes it really easy to spin on your carrier plate compared to the Pro 1000 that I've been messing with. So pretty positive clicks. You don't have to torque it down or anything. So once that's in there, we're going to go ahead and reassemble the indexing rod. So shell plate's installed. Next, with the carrier at the bottom stroke handle up, install the index rod. So we'll install this index rod. Alright, and then now it says install the lock ring eliminator. So I'm going to put this lock ring back in. Alright, now install the case ejector. So like I said, this case ejector is slotted, and you could actually remove it without disassembling everything. So do that, and it is pinned on the bottom where the case ejector goes, so it doesn't move. Alright, so that seems to work. Let's see, install the large or small rifle primer, or large or small primer arm. I am going to be using this for 300 blackout mostly, and probably some 223 bulk ammo. So there's that. And it says now install dies according to reloading instructions. So let me get this set up for 300 blackout and work the press a little bit, and I'll get back to you with some thoughts and what I think for now. Well folks, here it is, the Lee Breech Lock Pro, all set up for 300 blackout in progressive mode. I was able to mount my rifle case feeder. I did not know that Lee started making some universal case feeders. So yeah, I'll think about buying it, but this works good, just as good. What I did different is I added my pistol case feeding arm just to give this case a little more support. That way it doesn't kick from the pressure of the other cases behind it. And another good thing about this system is that it uses a spring instead of a hardwired linkage. On the Pro 1000, that seemed to be a pretty big issue of mine, where the linkage fell off of the hole right here, thus disabling your automatic case feeding. So this system is pretty positive, secured. It uses a screw and a hook, and it will not come off unless you really force it to. I was able to also mount the Lee Safety Prime system and give this a whirl. I'll talk about that in a little bit. What I got going on, stage 1, it goes in clockwise. Stage 1 is going to be my small base die with the decapping pin. Stage 2 is my Lee Universal expanding die, and I have a NOE expanding plug insert to expand the case to 309 with a 307 neck. Stage 3 is my powder system, and I'm using the older style Lee auto disc measure system without the spring. So I prefer this over the auto drum system when using powders like CFE Black and H110. This powder is very, very fine, and what I've noticed is on the auto drum, I've done what I can, polishing it, graphite, whatever, on the drums. They always leak like a sieve. This one's rebuilt 3 times from Lee. That one's brand new, and they both leak just as equal. So I'm pretty happy about using this system, and I'm also happy that I was able to mount my chain to where it automatically resets. The press itself does have a chain support here, and there's also one back there, and I believe that will be for the automatic bullet feeder if you choose on bullet feeding, let's say 9mm or 45 or whatever. So this press does have those 2 options. What I got on stage 4, of course, is the bullet seating, and with a built-in roll crimp. And now that I know that Lee has some of these locking bushings, I will be buying more for the rest of the calibers. So I'm pretty happy about that. Of course, this is a breech lock system, so changing out the dies is simple as quarter twist and turn. So if you do need to move stations or whatever, that is really easy to do. I think Lee really listened to us and really thought it through. And they also added a spot for our tools. So instead of fumbling through your workbench, try to find Allen screws, you got them here. You also have a place to put your other priming arm. That way you don't lose it. So good job, Lee, on that one. Talking about priming arm, speaking of that, I tried using the older style priming arm from the Breech Lock single stage, and it does not work. The priming arm system on this press is proprietary, so if you are to accidentally break it or in need of one, you will be buying one specifically for this press. Other than that, I'll show you guys, I'll run this press, show you guys how it works. To abide by YouTube's policy, firearm policy, I'll show 3 out of the 4 stages, and that'll be the first 3, and I'll leave the 4th stage out. As a YouTube disclaimer for YouTube, I'm not manufacturing ammunition. I am making my own for my own personal use. To manufacture ammunition, you do need a license, and I'm not licensed to manufacture and sell. So, with that being said, I'm showing viewers here that are interested on this press how this works. So here we go, guys. I'm going to show you guys the first 3 stages. What I've noticed also different is that this press is a little bit slower than a traditional progressive, because you do have to manually add a primer for the priming arm. So this will be how the press is going to run. Of course, the first stage is going to decap and resize. So as you raise the ram up, you'll decap, your primer will fall through the ram itself into this tube. So it'll collect off the back of your ram, and you have a little spot to dispense your primers. So that's a good plus. So what you got to do different on this press, if you do plan on priming, is add a primer when the ram's all the way up. So you'll dispense your primer, as you're going. You gotta remember to do that, or else your powder will go right through your case. So ram's all the way up, dispense a primer. As it goes down, it'll index to the second stage, and as you push forward, you'll seat your primer. It has a positive engagement on the indexing, so this will not move at all. This is pretty sturdy. And now you got two cases running at the same time. So first stage is going to decap, reprime. Second stage is going to expand and bell my case. And as the ram's all the way up, don't forget to dispense your primer. There you go. Lower the ram. Now you got three operations going. You got decap, reprime, bell, and then now powder. So tell that it's pretty smooth. Powder's going to add. And you can tell that my powder system stays up until I go all the way down because of the chain. And what I forgot to do in this stage was add a primer. So I still got to get used to this. You know, he's got to remember. And now you'll have 4 stages. So of course the last stage I'm going to add a bullet and seat that bullet. You know, so you know you can get to it. To go over the positives of this press. For one, the press is pretty wide open for a progressive press. You could get to all of these stages pretty easily and look visually down the case itself. For instance, your powder, which is the most important, to see if you have enough powder in there. You could add an LED bulb, LED lighting system, which I plan on doing. And one also good thing about this press is that three out of the 4 stages, you have this gate system. For instance, I wanted to remove this case because I had an issue with it. You know, if you leave that gate system loose, you could actually slide it out, or you know, pull the gate out and remove the case, or add a case in there. So a pretty cool system. It also keeps the case pretty secured in there. And like I said, it has it for every single stage except for the priming and decapping. So if you want to check your powder system, you can remove this gate and check to make sure your powder is still on point. And I guess another good thing on this so far that I like is how the cases eject. It has a nice little slip and slide for the case itself. So once the case is done, actually I'll show that real quick. I actually won't show loading the bullet, but I'll show you it falling off. Okay, so on this stage, the bullet will hit the case ejector and has a nice little slide area that falls right down into the provided bracket to mount your catch can, little container. So this press, I believe, in my own opinion, you do get a lot of bang for your buck. And Lee really did pay a lot of attention to detail to their consumers. And I actually got this press to me shipped for just under 150 bucks with the shell plate. So it's a lot, you know, really good value for what it is so far. I'm going to run it through its paces, like I said, but I forgot to mention a few things. Lee did, like I said, pay attention to a lot of detail. They made the ram very tight clearance here. You can see that there is also a recess area, and where you could add a pool of oil to lubricate your arm. The priming system is totally revamped and still uses the same kind of, I guess, idea of the turret press, and I really like this a lot. This seems to be pretty good positive feedback for your priming, and also give a little bit of give just in case you have issues. And the shell plate carrier is locked in place with this nice stainless steel pin. I forgot to also say that, of course, it comes with the regular manual, and there is a couple lubrication points. Lee does recommend to use specifically STP motor treatment. So there must be some kind of additive in that oil, and the points will be lubricating would be the hinges, of course. So you got this bolt here, that bolt here, and the ram. The lubrication point, bottom right there. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't say anything about the ram itself, so other than that lubrication point there. So that's probably what this little recess is for, this for oil to collect and pull up. So that's another good feature about this press. Other than that, guys, I'm gonna give this thing a good whirl. Try different calibers. I'm gonna try some 223s, some 9mm. I'm hoping Lee will eventually make a
Get shell plate for 30-06 and some of the bigger cartridges, 6.5 Creedmoor. Other than that, this is my first impression so far. I'm pretty happy with the press. Like I said, Lee does use a lot of plastic, so little things like this. Hopefully not the shell carrier housing don't break. They do have positives, like I said, as far as the linkage system is spring. The priming system, which is a big problem with their progressive press, they opt in for something that works, works pretty good. Their priming arm, safety priming system. And if you don't like it, you could always prime off the press. And another good thing is you could turn this thing into a single stage real easy just by removing this. Move your index rod. Now that press ain't moving no matter what I do. So also, I forgot to mention, the indexing plate itself is very, very easy to move clockwise, as you can tell. See, so it's got a pretty positive engagement, pretty positive click, and if you need to remove your cases like I just did, that's how easy it is. So you can move it back and forth really easy, almost like the turret press. So that's a good plus. Alright guys, let me know what you guys think of this press. I'm pretty happy I was able to try it out before a lot of people. Thank you Titan Reloading for that. And it got to me pretty quick. And I hope to be ordering more of these bushings. And I already got about 10 of these, but I want the lock style. Lock style is pretty cool. So, alright folks, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Like, subscribe, and I'll be doing some more videos and later on. Got a few fun things coming up. Got some load development, some precision load development that I plan on showing you guys. Other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next video, and thanks for watching.